Hi, thank you for joining me. Today, we're going to walk through my process of creating multiple paintings at once. Now, you may be saying it's hard enough creating one at a time, but you're going to just use that same process of creating one painting and duplicate it over and over and over. That's how you normally create your artwork. This time, we're going to kind of compress it. We're going to pull it all together and let you keep yourself super busy while you're painting one canvas, the other canvas is going to be drying. This also allows you to move along and not spend too much time getting frustrated or anxious over a painting that is not quite working out well. You're able to move along to the next canvas, and then when you come back to a painting that may have been causing a little problems here or there, you're looking at it with fresh eyes. So we also have the benefit of creating a larger amount of paintings in a shorter amount of time. So this is one reason, I guess, why I came up with this. And it's nothing ingenious, to say the least, but it works. It keeps you from thinking and allows your creative mind to just take off. So this is a sample of 4 different paintings. If the canvases were regular size canvases, you still are going to do the same thing. I'm just doing it on a very small scale. So what you need your paintings. Put your sketches out on all your canvases. And what I like to do is the LayZ artist way is I have some watered down burnt sienna to trap the sketches. And I have some watered down yellow ochre to tone my canvas. One of my videos will tell you about the process of creating background noises and things like that. So this is really going to combine all those techniques. You also need your paint brushes, something to make background noises with. Of course, you need your painting, and I have a small amount of water over here. Now, this is what we do. I have sketches on all canvases. I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to trap all of my sketches. So now I've trapped all the subjects on the canvas, acrylic paints. Now I'm going to tone my canvas. Now I'm going to put paint on my palette. Now I'm going to add my background noise. All right, so that layer is dry. Now, if you notice, I painted all the background skies, and I'm going to go back and paint the ground color. My method is that you paint one complete layer before moving to the next one. What is happening, since I'm using the same, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can do it as I'm doing now, putting the very first layer down on everything at the same time, similar to the other techniques that I use, or you can do one complete painting, then move to the next one, meaning do a full layer of paint. So since I was using the same paint and I had a large amount of paint mixed, I didn't want to waste it and I didn't want to chance some of it drying. I went ahead and did all the skies at the same time. Now I'm going to go back and start applying the colors to each individual painting itself. I have laid down my roadmap. Some areas look really sloppy. Some of these areas are not completely covered, but for the most part, they are. I always do one complete layer first. Then I do an evaluation or a critique. Then I go back and apply my second layer of paint. And the second layer of paint is definitely thicker than the first layer, or heavier coat. I'm going to now address one painting, just one, and put a complete layer of paint on it. Then I'll move to the next one and put a complete layer of paint on it. I do that with all of them. I'm going to do it in the order that I'm intuitively led to do it. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Remember, I'm laying the paint on thicker than normal. Well, thicker than the first layer. This first layer of paint was really thin. The second layer of paint is going to be thicker than that first layer. So here we go. All right, I'm satisfied with that second layer of paint. And now I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm going to following the contour of the mailbox. It's straight right here. And then this is straight. Right now I'm cleaning up this handle piece. It was a little wider here than down there. And I made note of that while I was drying it. And now I'm going to go straight down because that's the angle here. I'm using a flat brush on this. That's the angle. This is going around the top. All right, I'm satisfied with that. I'm moving on to the next one. All right, that layer's done. And now we'll move to this next one. All right, everything has been addressed twice. I'm constantly critiquing. So that's my second layer of paint. And now I would add a third layer of paint on here, much thicker. And while I'm adding the paint, I'm going to add all of the necessary things that would make the painting pop or look realistic. For instance, I'm going to need the sky color showing through this slightly through this lighthouse. I cleaned up these edges a bit, but it looks like the boat is sitting on top of the water. So I'll have to bring the water up over the edges of the boat. Here, I don't have any flowers in yet. I intentionally left the flowers out for last. No spots on the ladybugs or legs. This, for the most part, is done. I don't need to do anything else to this other than address this missing piece of almost a partial halo here and here around the mailbox. So now I'm going to just go ahead and add, I've addressed every painting. I did it in a different order, but it doesn't matter. And now I'm going to go back and add those little pieces of whatever onto it. And when I do, I have to make sure that the paint is laid on thick. The reason being is I have 2 layers of paint already there. So when I put the spots on here, it'll only be one little thin layer. When I put the flowers here, it'll be just a thin layer. So therefore, it will not look right when I compare it as a whole painting. So I must lay these little finishing touches, I like to call them. I must lay them on thick. All right, here we go. When I add them on, they're going to look out of place. So I got to make sure then I put enough paint in here and scruff up and in so that it looks like it was there all the time. I don't want it to stick out like a sore thumb. Otherwise, I just shouldn't do it. So you must make it look like it was there all the time. Give the rim here a little highlight. These flowers can be any color you like, so that's why I'm just mixing them up. Make sure it's covered and it doesn't look out of place. And I found you get this nice variety. On this brush, I have the lavender and I have some white, and so that's why it's coming out like it is. This is the lazy artist way of painting. Done. I can come in with a paint marker and do some lost and found lines here and there, and then sign my name. But that's the way you do multiple paintings in a short amount of time. All right. I'm hoping that this helps you. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.